Why not look at Australian horse racing? This is a guide for punters who are in the UK and Ireland. Why should you look down under for racing action? Well, for a start, 99.9% of all racing is flat racing. No obstacles to jump over, it's all flat racing. 95% of the race meetings are on turf. Good field sizes mostly, so you haven't got 2, 3, 4, even rarely to get 5 horses in a race, always more than this. Heaps of racing, over 8 meetings for every Saturday and 6 or more on a Sunday. Betfair covers almost all the meetings now in Australia, and with good liquidity and increasing every month. Much better free information of the races, the horses, the jockeys and the trainers, and we'll show you that a little bit later. Better weather, so the tracks are less affected and making racing more predictable. And also the night racing is mainly also done on turf, not polytrack. But the times are rubbish if I live in the UK. Fair point. In the UK summer, there's 11 hours time difference between Sydney and Melbourne, 10 hours between Queensland and 8 hours in the west here. So in the summer, racing starts at 3 or 4 a.m. in the morning UK time, daylight saving, finishing around 11 if the west is racing, and then night racing starts about 9 a.m. UK time, finishing around 1 p.m. In the UK, winter racing starts at 2 a.m, finishes around 9 a.m, with night racing finishing about 11 a.m. So there's still plenty of racing available at a reasonable hour. There is a good race commentary on the radio that you can access on the net, and also I'll show you where you can also watch it on TV if you bet with Unibet. Then there's harness racing, which is mainly at night, so from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. And greyhounds also at the same time as harness racing. So what I'll do now is I'll jump out of this PowerPoint presentation and I'll show you some exciting things that are available when you look at Australian racing. Form access free sites, the TAB sites that you can set the time by, auto betting bots that work well on Australian racing if you like to sleep. Okay, the first site we look at here, this is the West Australian government betting site, touchtab.com.au. Just have a look, we've got today's Tuesday, we've got 3 meetings here. So there's 2 meetings of 8 and 1 of 7, and then these are the overseas meetings, which this site bets on as well. The good thing with this site is you can go up to media and click on tab radio and you can listen to the races. I'm actually using a VPN with a London IP at the moment, so this is everything I'm getting on this video you can access from the UK. So if we click on that, what it does, it brings us up there, TAB radio. So you can listen to all the races, the harness, the race.
Lights blink, 1500, Young Star, odds on favourite. Starter just holds. One just holding up off the inside, perhaps. Happy Hustler.
So you've got that, so you can listen to every race, and they have good talk back on horses and interviews with jockeys and trainers, etc. So it's a very good radio station to listen to if you're interested in betting on the Australian racing. So as I said, that's free and free access to that. So that's one thing. Now the next thing I want to tell you about is if you didn't want to use Betfair, this is a UK site called Unibet, which you're probably well aware of, but they have good odds for Australian racing as well. The odds that they're offering here is what's available live on the course and the corporate bookies in Australia. So if we see here, here's the races for Australia here, and as I said, these odds, if we just click on this race here, these odds are what's available right now in Australian on course and with the bookies. But as I said, I use Betfair. But you can see here the prices, see the price movements, the jockeys, the last starts, etc. And if we go back to the racing, you can see here is all the meetings, obviously for the UK today, and here we have the Australian meetings here. Okay, and these will all be in your times, obviously, reflecting the time that's on your computer. Okay, so that's a good site if you want to bet Australian. And also I see over here they've got, just scroll across, I can see there they've got live commentaries, but I haven't listened to their live commentaries. But the one on that TAB one is one that I really recommend. Okay, so the next thing we want to show you is this one here, racinginsports.com.au. Now, these guys have got really comprehensive form. So, for example, we look at here, Geelong, click on the free form. Most places around the world, and that you're paying for this sort of information, these guys are giving it to you for free. Okay, so what we've got here, so the first race at Geelong gives us all the details that we want, and as we scroll down, there's each horse there, the comprehensive right up on its last starts, etc. All the information that you need, going clockwise, anti-clockwise, it's all there for you and it's free. They've also got, for example, if you've got a favourite jockey, you can click on the jockey and it will tell you the mounts and all that the jockey's got for the day, just in one quick, easy format, so you can see the jockeys and their mounts and who the trainers are. All very neat and quick. And also, if you go to the meeting statistics, click on jockey, it now gives us the jockeys with their last 50 rides here and their last 350 rides over on this side, so that we can look at finding out how they go at that track. So that's all for free, and same with the trainers, you've got that. And then you've got, if you wanted, for example, if you wanted to print off a guide, a race guide, you can print off a PDF that goes into more detail if you wanted to there. There we are. So you've got all the details, and if this is blown up to normal size, obviously I just blow it up a bit more. It becomes quite readable, but you can print that off in PDF format, and it's giving you everything you need to know, more information than you need to know really. So that's a great place for form. Now, if you find getting up at 2 or 3 o'clock or staying awake till 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning's a bit late, then as I said, the racing goes right through to about 11, 12, even 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So there's no need to be at the first race. The first race is traditionally in Australian racing, your maidens and that, except for the weekends where the metropolitan meetings and that don't really have any maiden racing. But so the less competitive animals are in the first few races, but you could look at another approach, one that many are using now, and that's the automated betting bots. So I'll just quickly show you some of the ones that we have. On our main site, winningmore.com, we've got an auto betting software page, and this is the page that we're on at the moment. Just move this across a bit. So we've got a laying horses on autopilot. Now these bots I'm going to show you, they work in the UK, Ireland, Australia, New Zealand, South Africa. Why I'm advocating having a look at Australia is I just feel that the racing is a little bit more predictable and a little bit easier to set bots for. So we've got horse laying bot, we've got a magic soccer bot, so that's obviously doing football. Another football bot, which is auto profit soccer bot. Then we've got another horse bot here, which is one of our first horse bots, Saw Deluxe. A sports bot that does 15 sports, not football, but AFL, NRL, boxing, snooker, basketball, and tennis, etc. Then we have our greyhound, first of our greyhound bots, which is this one here, lets you to lay back and also lets you to Dutch, which I find very useful, Dutching the first two favourites, especially in the UK, but it works well here in Australia as well. Lay the draw, which is obviously another football one. Steamer drifter bot, which is a horse racing one. Stop at a winner, which was one of our very first bots, which looks at horse racing. Back horse bot, which is a simple bot used for backing horses in price ranges or from first to eighth favourite. Then we've got a backing greyhound bot, a greyhound lay bot, and we've got another bot, jockey trainer, which hasn't been listed here yet. All these bots work on Australian racing and New Zealand racing and also the UK and Ireland. So if you look at using Australia as a revenue to or an avenue to find more horse races to bet on, then I really recommend it as it works well with bots, etc. So I hope you enjoyed this little journey on why you should look at Australian racing, and thanks for your time. Much appreciated. Thanks for watching. I hope you will consider betting in Australia. Did you know that the Melbourne Cup at 3 million plus is not the richest race in Australia? That title belongs to the Everest at 5.5 million. Did you know that William Hill left Australia after only 3 years and a loss of 220 million? Did you also know 1 in every 200 people in Australia have owned shares in a racehorse at some time? This year's Jockey of the Year is the Australian Hugh Bowman. And also the most Group 1 wins belongs to an Australian horse called Winx at 18 Group 1s. And stake earnings at the present, she's still racing, of £10.45 million. Her last 25 starts have been undefeated as I do this video. Visit here for the links shown in this video, winningmore/australianracing.html, and I'm sure that I've been of some use to you, and I hope that you do have a look at betting in Australia. Thank you.